So continuing on my walk on Grenada's beach, I left off from a spot way down there and walked all the way, and let me look at the distance that I have to go again. It's a nice walk, but we need to walk. I cannot stress too much, cannot overemphasize the fact that we needed to walk. My good friend Dr. Sonia Nixon will tell you how much we need to walk. Yes, exercise. And talking about food, I said I was going to continue with food. The beach parties. Now the funny thing about the beach parties, and no matter where it took place, it could be on this Grandans Beach, it could be on La Sagesse Beach, Livera Beach, Bartray Beach, or any beach. I don't think Pandy Beach, my favorite Pandy Beach, I don't think Pandy Beach was a popular place for beach parties. No, can't recall that. If anybody from Belmont or Springs will say something different about Pandy Beach regarding beach parties, well, let me know. It's a bird. I often mention the birds, how they dive into the water to catch a fish. You know, they have very good eyesight. Somebody tells you that you can see like a bird. Well, we know the saying, a bird's eye view. And some cricketers, I think, possess a bird's eye view. Here's that bird there. You know, when I lived here, there are certain scenes that never appealed to my eye. I took it for granted. But when you live abroad and you come back to Grenada, that which seemed like nothing before suddenly has significance. Yes, you see beauty. One poet once wrote that he saw a world in a grain of sand. Now if you reach a stage where you could see a world in a grain of sand, well, then you have a real vivid imagination. I wonder if these guys selling things on the beach. Gotta get some water. I drank water before I left, yeah, but I gotta keep drinking more. You know, you gotta keep hydrated. So yes, the beach party was a wonderful affair. And in those days, there were the wooden buses, those well-ventilated buses. Why, when you're driving in those buses, and most of us wanted a seat called a high seat, when you were in those buses, you got the fresh air. Anybody remembers that while the wooden bus was going, anybody remembers that the people seemed to be just moving? You look out the window and like the people would be moving. Who had that experience? Well, I remember that. Here I see some people up there enjoying the water. And there are people who lived in England and the United States and Canada for a number of years, and then they returned to Grenada and they just enjoy the sea bath, soaking their limbs, battered over time by the vicious cold, the frigid temperature in temperate lands. And they return to the beach that they knew from childhood days. Look at this bird. Look at this bird. Look at it. It got a fish. It actually got a fish. You see how the Lord provides? It got a fish. Where it is? Here it is. It went down in the water again. Looking for more fish. Yes. You see how the Lord provides? Some of us wonder where our next meal will come from. Man, just exercise some faith, eh? If God provides for the birds. Good morning, how are you? Yeah, if God provides for the birds, the Lord will provide for you also. So don't even worry. So yes, these people are, as I mentioned in a previous tape, you can liken them to soldiers away from the battlefield. They have served their time in the cold and they are fortunate to return home to salvage some of the nature's offerings, God's offering, before Basil calls them home. Well, when I was growing up, the term Basil was used. Basil was used when referring to death. Basil call you, boy. Basil call you. That means that you're going. Hey, where you going, man? I do not look at thing there. Wait, boy, what? You sure you could swim? I'm not putting the camera on you. But you sure you could swim? You're good. I'm walking up there to the beach and come back. You learn to swim right here. Man. But it's good, you know. I will get mine Monday. Monday is my beach day. Well, Grenada, you're a Grenada man. But you know something? I often say, right? I was thinking about the beach party. You remember that beach party we used to have? Them big beach party? Fellas there play cricket on the beach. And you dive in anyway, you know, man. Because it's inside, you dive in, you know. But you ever I could take you to the water there, you mind, huh? Alright, well look, here it is. There he is. Enjoying the water of Grandad's beach. You know? You gotta show your friends that. When you see it on Facebook, tell them what they're missing, man. Tell them what they're missing. So I'm gonna walk up to the end. Probably I'll see when I come back. Yeah, on the bus, right? Of course, yeah. Yeah. I went all the way to Grand Mall. I went to see another beach. That's where we were when you were living in. Oh, okay, yeah. But that's why I tell people, you see, you don't know who's seeing you when you're down here. That's why you can't be bad, you know. Because somebody goes. But I tried. Wait, is he in Grenville Street? Somebody tell me in Manjaloo. But I tried looking for him. I went there, knocked at the door. Eh? I'm not too sure. He don't know his mother. His mother left and went to England, and she never turned back. So she passed away. But poor Joe, he don't even know that. You know what I mean? You know Joe, you know. And Grandma used to try with him, to get him to learn things and so on. But you know one thing I'll say about him. He became an acolyte and he knew that tea, man. When my mother died, he was there. When my grandmother, great-grand, he was there. So you see, there was something that he did, and I appreciate that. But I saw him before. I saw him a couple of times. I went to Four Roads, and them guys told me I need a visa to come there. I said, well, am I all crazy or what? This is where I lived years ago. I pointed an area, I said that's where Mr. Brown shop was, Mr. Shoemaker shop. I told them, I said, look, that is not only where Mr. Brown was. I showed them where Mr. Sandy Ford shop and Mr. Jones shop was. And I point down to the sea and I say, you know Melville Street? They say, boy, me never hear about Melville Street. Well, I say, well, okay, I could tell you about this place, because a guy came while I was talking. He said, boy, leave the man alone, that's one of us. That's one of us, an older guy. Yeah, man. So let me take a little walk, eh? And we go catch up. Yeah, but I'll try to get Joe. All right? Okay. Now, but many people don't know who Joe it is, so it doesn't really matter. You don't know who Joe are talking about. So I'm walking again. Oh, yes, boy, it's a good day. It's a blessed day. I need to pause and thank the Lord. for the gift called life. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to be here on GRENADA's beach. As I walk, I think of those who are having a difficult time today, those who are pressed down by sorrow, those who have lost loved ones. I think of those who are fighting, struggling to make ends meet. And I want you, Lord, to impress on us, plaster your love on our hearts so that we will be more merciful, more loving, more caring, more giving. Because after all, we'll all leave this earth and will be forgotten in time. You ask anybody, name me 10 people who walked on this GRENADA's beach in the year 1905. They can't tell you. Those people are gone. And there was no documentation. So you might be able to name one, a relative. But for the most part, you will not be able to do so. So yes, Lord, as I walk on the sand of GRENADA's beach, I thank you for the short visit to Grenada that I came here and experienced the beauty of a place that I knew so well, I know so well, where I grew up. It is a joy, it is a pleasure seeing so many things that I was so familiar with years ago. And one request, that you lengthen my days so that I will be able to come back to Grenada again, because life is so uncertain and we have to appreciate every day that we live. I often mention how the green lime falls, right? The green lime falls and leave the ripe ones. But none of us knows when the clock will tick. None of us knows when the bell will sound for us. So in the meantime, help us to value our days and to know that it is essential, it is important for us to be kind to each other, for us to respect each other, and to show kindness, because the kindness that we show will return to us. We cast our bread on the waters. Look at waters right here. Symbolically, cast your bread on the waters. It will return to you in due time. Only believe, exercise faith, and keep that faith alive. Someone once said, keep hope alive. We have to keep hope alive. So I came from all along that area down there. And I walked, and I will continue to walk until the end. It's a nice walk. As I often said, I do not just get up and come and walk like that. I don't do that.
So that's your alarm that is going to ring?
I practice, if you want to put it that way. I practice Prospect Park. Good morning. How are you? Good. Yeah, good. Hi. Yeah. I practice, and if I was in Brooklyn this morning, probably I would be in Prospect Park looking at the changing leaves looking at the changing leaves. Let me get up here. I don't want to. Looking at the changing leaves. Morning, morning. How you doing? All right. Just looking at the changing leaves in Brooklyn. I just switched the camera away from the people that I saw coming there because you don't want to infringe on somebody's privacy. You don't know what relationships people have. So sometimes I try as much as possible to avoid getting people and ask people's permission if they want to be on camera. Because I usually post this stuff. So it's a good morning. I'm going home in a little while. I have to see a friend a little later on. I had some cocoa tea this morning. Cocoa. There are some Grenadians you can't tell them about cocoa, you know. I tell them about chocolate. I'm a chocolate boy. We say cocoa tea. Hey, where I will at some point. Y'all enjoying the water, right? I'm just bringing back some of the memories. I was talking about beach party. The beach parties that we used to have. Where people, well, I didn't even end up talking about it. Yeah, man, but those were good days. Good days. But y'all enjoy, okay? All right. Well, you're good. You're a good swimmer. enjoy. Boy, I don't know. So many people. They call me, and some people I remember, some people I don't remember. But what I know too is that Facebook. You see my picture on Facebook, and they call me. I remember I was in Telescope, and a guy called me, a young guy, maybe about 22. He said, Mr. The Riggs. I said, where the hell? Where I know this guy? He said, man, you're my friend, you're on Facebook, and I follow you. I learned so much about Grenada. And when he told me that, I felt good. And those are the words that I get from people that encourages me to keep on doing what I'm doing. Because if I could just bring enjoyment just to one person, well, it will make me happy. Because we look around the world today and there are so many things to depress us. You know, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Apart from the elements, apart from the hurricanes, apart from natural disaster. I had a frightening dream a few days ago. A few days ago. Frightening dream. I dreamt that I was in Grenada. In the dream. And I was running from a volcano erupting in Grenada. Well, somebody would say, boy, you dream that because you eat too much food. Well, probably they're right, I don't know. But my hope and my prayer is that never happens. We know out there, here comes Jenny's out there. And Mount St. Catherine is a volcano. I remember the story about a volcano in the Philippines. Nobody knew it was going to erupt. Nobody thought it was going to erupt. So it didn't erupt for thousands of years. And then one morning, they just saw smoke coming from the mountain. And it actually erupted. I said all that to say that life is unpredictable. We do not know what will happen tomorrow, but we must be prepared. We can follow the Scouts' motto and be prepared. Prepared for the expected and prepare also for the unexpected, because we live in strange times. The book tells us that in the last days, perilous times will come. And indeed, one can safely say that perilous times are here. Some will see the handwriting on the wall, but there are those who see the handwriting on the wall and they believe the handwriting is not meant for them. The handwriting is not meant for them. So here I'm almost at the end. I see the seagull over there. They're relaxing. Look at them. So this is part 2, the end of part 2. Near the end. I'm near the end. Grandad's Beach, St. George, Grenada. So now let me go and get something to drink. Probably I'll pass by Wall Street. A fella tell me making a fish broth day today. Well, I don't know. Another friend told me he's making a fish broth. Well, it wouldn't hurt to have 2 fish broths in one day, because the fish down here is fresh. Fresh fish. Gotta have fresh fish. So Anthony Wendell the Riggs, enjoying, and thank you all those who found the time to follow me. Some of the videos are long, and some people don't have the patience to look at long videos. But those who enjoy what I do, I say, God bless you. Anthony Wendell the Riggs on the world famous Grandad's Beach. God bless, God bless. What a nice day, eh? Look at the mountains up there. Look at the mountains. Indeed, Grenada, mountainous. We learned that in primary school from early age. Grenada is a mountainous island. And in those days, we didn't even study Grenada alone. We studied Dominica and St. Vincent and Grenada Islands. And they had a subject called civics. I would like to see them bring back civics in the schools. Civics. But that's a conversation for another day. God bless. Anthony the Riggs, Wendell.